Welcome back to Headlines. I'm Wes Austin, and these are today's top stories. Kamala Harris has picked Minnesota Governor Tim Waltz to be her vice presidential running mate for the White House in 2024. Here's a bit of background on Tim Waltz. He openly championed socialism during a White Dudes for Harris event.
But we can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
Many people believe that he failed to anticipate and react to the George Floyd riots in Minneapolis. The Minneapolis mayor said that Waltz hesitated to send in the National Guard to stop the growing violence. Not sending in the National Guard when there's a riot to stop? That's one of the signature moves of Democrats. Waltz signed a bill eliminating the legal residency requirement for a driver's license in order to grant driver's licenses to illegal migrants, which makes it much easier for people who are here illegally to vote. I'm sure they're not doing it on purpose. He gave illegal migrants taxpayer-funded health care and tuition. He also signed a bill requiring schools to provide tampons in boys' bathrooms. Waltz signed laws allowing minors to have surgeries to change their you-know-what without parental consent. Well, who needs parental guidance when you have a government that knows best? So Tim Waltz is basically Gavin Newsom, but without contacts and hair plugs. With all these very questionable decisions that are bad for the country and bad for families, I think it's clear that Waltz is a perfect match for Kamala. She's always wanted someone who could keep up with her on her race to the bottom. At a bookstore in Washington, D.C., Representative Jamie Raskin seemed to insinuate that Congress will stop Trump from taking office even if he's elected.
They want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified, and then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions.
Raskin's plan to stop Trump's inauguration is a real testament to democratic values. Nothing says we love democracy like plotting to ignore the results of an election. For all of the media that wanted an insurrection so hard over the last few years, it looks like you might actually get one. I guess manifesting does work. Do you remember back when they found some coke at the White House? Now, some are saying that former Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle wanted to destroy the coke immediately, going against the rule requiring evidence retention for 7 years. I'm sure she would have wanted to keep it, but they must have found it on a sloped shelf, and we know how dangerous those sloped surfaces can be. Yesterday, the Secret Service confirmed that they disposed of the cocaine found at the White House last year. 3 sources connected to the Secret Service reported that DNA was recovered from the bag of coke, allowing for a partial hit in a national database after the drug was found on July 2, 2023, which happened to be 2 days after a gathering of the Biden family. Now, the partial hit was, well, they actually didn't tell us who it was. Kimberly Cheadle allegedly wanted to destroy the cocaine immediately, but faced pushback from colleagues who cited protocols that require evidence retention for 7 years. The investigation was closed 11 days after the cocaine was found without any suspect interviews. They wanted the investigation ended as quickly as possible to prevent anyone sniffing around for clues. There was no sniffing allowed in the White House, unless you're in the Oval Office. A clip of Kamala Harris from 2017 has resurfaced where she calls on everyone to be woke.
We have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke.
Kamala was laughing through that whole thing, and the other 2 women were just staring at her. They're like, is this funny? Am I supposed to laugh? I don't think she's trying to be funny. I think I should just sit here.
And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke.
So Kamala wants you to be woke, and it's okay if you're the wokest or if you're just woker. Woke, wokest, woker. Look, basically Kamala just wants you to be filled with woke tardation. Thanks for watching Headlines. I'm Wes Austin. Good night.